Good day everyone. So this is for the subject CRI 200 Question Document Examination. This was entitled Question Document Examination Defense. So note or a reminder, the case cited on the comparison chart are not based on the true event and for educational purposes only. So I am Jean Angeli Pescadero, a question document examiner on this defense. So let's proceed to the information of the subject. So the name of the subject is Mr. Clayford A. Mondano. The address is from Porok 13, Baloy, Tablon, Cagayan de Oro City. Male, 22 years of age, and the case is robbery. So let's proceed. So this is the alleged ransom note of Mr. Mondano. As you can see on the picture, there are different patterns on how he writes to unable to not easily to decipher his handwriting. This includes the cursive writing, the block, and the script. The question specimen was cutted from the ransom note or writing, and the known specimen was cutted from the standard specimen from the subject. So we can have here the question document on the left side and the known specimen on the right side. So let's proceed. So here is the first set of specimen. So the first cutted word is end, the same with the known specimen. So in these letters of the word end from the question specimen, it manifested identical pattern to the known specimen. The forms are seemingly identical on the design of every individual letters, the A, the letter N, and the letter D. The retracing pattern are definitely obvious, which can be seen between the letter N and the letter D, in which it goes back over another writing stroke. And lastly, an arc that was found at the upper part or at the top of the letter D that is seemingly identical from the known specimen on its curved line and shape to form the letter D. So it is obviously can be seen in our comparison chart. So that was the explanation of the first set of specimen. So let's proceed to the second specimen. So our next set of specimen is the word early for question document and afternoon on the known specimen. In the second set of specimen, we are going to focus on the letter R here. The letter R are seemingly identical on how they were written with the known specimen. The initial strokes shows a blunt beginning, which started from the top stroke that have a strong application of movement that goes downward and retrace its pattern upward, which means to go over on the same pattern to form another writing stroke. So we see a blunt beginning and a retrace pattern. Then, it ended up of a hook or through in which it is a minute or an involuntary talon-like formation that we found at the end of the letter R of its terminal stroke from the question document, of course, and the known specimen. As you can see, there is also a pen lifting on the stroke of the handwriting. The gap between the R to the letter on its side are called the pen lift or pen lifting. It is usually caused by a sudden removing of the pen from the paper. Some circumstances on having a pen lift are due to lack of control of movement. So that are the reason why there is a pen lift or the gap between the letters on the other side of the word of the letter R here of our second specimen. So that was the explanation of our second set of specimen. So next, in our third specimen. So in our third specimen, we have the same word of question and known specimen, which is the word tomorrow. As you can see in the presentation, the letters are almost identical. Almost, because there are two letters I can't consider identical, which is the last two letters of both specimen, the letter O and the letter W. The forms of all the letters are seemingly identical with its size. The size I am talking to is the height to width of immediate preceding letters, which are consistent in each other. In the first letter of the R of the tomorrow, on both specimen, the first letter R of the word tomorrow are seemingly identical, that there is a whirl, which is the long loops that usually seen on the upward strokes of the letters, like this on the R, the first R. As you can see on the comparison chart, that the arrowed one. So the letters in word are also evident that it shows quite identical alignment to the known specimen. So they have the same or identical alignment on both question document and the known specimen. So let's proceed to the fourth set of specimen. In our fourth specimen, there are different words that I found identical by a thorough examining of the handwriting. The word carefully was cutted from the ransom note on the question specimen and all to the other side, which came from to the known specimen of the subject, Mr. Mundano. In this handwriting, we are going to focus on the letter that have the same characteristics. In the question specimen, carefully, I examined that the foot of the letter or oval are seemingly identical. When we say the foot of the letter or oval, it means the portion of any downstrokes which terminated on the baseline on the handwriting. The double letters L from the question specimen have the same writing pattern with the known specimen in the word all. So, in the comparison chart, if you see on the comparison chart, this is what I am talking about. The degree of the position of the letter are the same. Then we can see at the end of part of the terminal stroke a hook or through of both specimen, which means the bend, crook, or the curve on the inner side of the bottom loop or of the letter. It is a minute or involuntary talon-like formation in which it prepares to end the stroke upward. So, as you can see on the comparison chart, it is obviously a hook or through that has been arrowed. So, next. So, we are now to the last set of specimen, which is our fifth specimen. That was the fruit from our exhaustive handwriting examination. We have here the cutted word the or the from the question specimen and the same as well to the known specimen. So they have the same word. As you can see, the forms of every individual letters from the question specimen are apparently identical to the known specimen. From the initial strokes, from the letter T, and then goes up to form a vertical line and retrace its pattern to form a curve downward to form a letter H. And so as you can see on the comparison chart, ended to form letter E. So the word have obviously seen a connecting strokes of both specimen. The connecting strokes of both specimen are obviously visible. So as you can see on the comparison chart, that's how they came up to the same pattern. The connecting strokes on the specimen is classified as circular strokes. So the curve on the strokes, the connecting strokes. So that is a circular motion. Lastly, the alignment are evident that they are identical from the line of every individual letters or the word to the baseline. So they are identical on its alignment. So it is obviously can be seen in the comparison chart. We can see how they are relatively identical to the known specimen. So that was the explanation of the fifth set of specimen. So by that 5 question specimens that I compare to the 5 known specimen through a thorough handwriting examination, 99.9% of this ransom note is being written by Mr. Clifford Mundano. So it is obviously that he is the one who writes the ransom note because of the set of these specimens that have identical pattern. So that would be all. Thank you.